All right, so one of the many things I've noticed around here, there's a lot of cool stuff here in Northwest Arkansas. You're surrounded by rad trails, of course, great coffee, great art, but I've also realized you're surrounded by a lot of specialized bikes. And I thought to myself, I've never really had a proper ride on a specialized, especially a Stumpjumper. So thankfully, I know a few people that were able to hook me up with not just one, but 3 pretty rad Stumpies. So that's what we're gonna do on today's One Ride Bike Breakdown. So this one's gonna be a little bit different because we don't just have one bike, we have multiples. And why? Answer is a couple different sizes. So we have Stumpjumpers in medium and large, but then we also have a Stumpy Evo. So we'll get a chance to compare and contrast and see where one might have an advantage over the other, and maybe come up with a determination as to which of those bikes is better suited for the Oz Trail. So I can tell you, I got a lot of friends that ride these bikes and they say they're pretty rad, so I'm fired up. Let's go rip it. Are you ready? So, I'm excited. I know they're good bikes. It's not a matter of if it's a good bike. It's a matter of how it feels. So, the numbers I've looked at a little bit, and what I'm probably most curious about is how it compares to the Troy and the Switchblade. So that's what'll be fun about what we're gonna do now. We're gonna hit the Top Vol American, we're gonna hit Boo Boo, and go do some stuff up on a new line where I've ridden those other bikes. So it'll be a pretty good little back-to-back comparison. Give me a feel for how the bike works, and then I'll also have an opportunity to pedal it around a little bit. So we'll look at it on all fronts and see what it can do. Deal with some heat and humidity, a little bit worse than it's been in the past, but it's all worth it. So, all right, time to rip it. All right, here we go. Top of All American, Lawrence Plaza, downtown square, right over there. So this right here, again, I've said it many times, it's the gateway to the beauty that is the Oz Trail. So with this, I can hit well over 100 miles of soft surface trail. So this top part, by far one of my favorites. So we're gonna session this on both bikes, have some fun, see how they work. Let's do it. This thing's a ripper. I'm impressed. Wow, dude, we got a throwdown. We got a battle between the Troy, the Switchblade, and the Stumpy. Whew. Yeah, All American, big thumbs up. I think we need to go hit something else. few hours into this, and I gotta tell you what, this thing is rad. I'm really, really digging it. I'm shocked at how comfortable I initially felt on it. I went ripping into All-American, and I was able to manual through stuff that I sometimes have trouble with, so something to be said for that. It's funny because this is a large. So earlier I was on a medium version of the Stumpjumper, and it felt rad. It felt like a big BMX bike, but I think the large, for me, at 5'10" and what I'm used to and the style of riding I do, I think this one is probably a little bit better fit. It's tough to say. I could bounce around either way, but right now I'm leaning more towards, for higher speed stability, I would probably want to go with the large. So this build right here, S-Works, obviously. We got the DPX2. We're running XTR drivetrain and brakes. Whew, feels good. Like really, really solid. In contrast to the Axis on the Evo and the medium, also feels rad. It's kind of, you know, 6.5 in one, a dozen in the other. So I think it's more what you prefer. But as far as performance, I'm pretty stoked. So we still got some more time. We're gonna hit the rest of this boo-boo stuff and then do a little cross-country type stuff, and then probably save the best for last. We got a new spot over there called Apple Dumpling that rides as good as that sounds, I think. I don't know, either way. We're gonna go rip it. Let's do it. All right, one ride, bike breakdown, Specialized Stumpjumper in the books. Okay, it's pretty simple. You know the rules. One ride to form that opinion of how good or bad this bike is. Now, what I can tell you is, in the 3 rides I had on this, I formed an opinion. And that opinion is, this thing is rad. I'm sure nobody is surprised. I'm not. I knew it was gonna be a great bike. So, what bike is it? What did I settle on? I had 3. So 2 Stumpjumpers, a medium, a large, and then a Stumpy Evo. I rode the Evo very little. It was very difficult to ride because it was so slack and it had 800mm bars. Now, if I had more time, narrower bars, I could probably get pretty acclimated to that thing. And if I was somewhere where I was pointing downhill a lot, I think I'd really dig that bike. Now, between the medium and the large, I settled a little bit more on the large. So I rode the medium for probably a solid day and I dug it. It was cool. It felt like a big BMX bike. I had a lot of fun, but then I got on the large after that and it just felt right. It just felt really good as far as high speed stability, longer pedals, things like that. So I would probably go with the large. If you're 5'10" like me, I would say try to ride them both because the medium with the longer stem, maybe a 60 mil, might be pretty legit. So as you can see, S-Works version, loaded. XTR drivetrain, XTR brakes, DPX2, Fox 36 Roval wheels. I mean, all the bells and whistles. Legit bike. So yeah, my taste of the Stumpy was on something that was really good. And man, I instantly felt comfortable on it. I ripped through All-American manual stuff that sometimes I have problems manualing. And it was easy on this. So it pedals well, it's very balanced, it's very stable, it jumps well. I mean, everything I did, I dug. I mean, I think it's a really, really good bike. I'd like to get one longer and ride it a little bit more, do a big 30, 40 mile ride, see how that feels, and then maybe even get something a little bit more high speed, like South Mountain-esque, or maybe around here like Eureka or Buffalo Outdoor Center. So all good things, really positive. I like the bike a lot. Looking forward to, like I said, getting some more time and maybe even getting one of those Evo SLs. So first time really getting a ride on a proper specialized bike, and I like it. A couple things unique about this bike that I found really cool. This setup right here. So the SWAT tool here in the head tube is pretty rad. So I used this a couple times. Very easy to get to. I thought that was awesome. Then down here, if you're not familiar with the SWAT storage, so this is open and cavernous, so you can put obviously tools, snacks, whatnot in there. So a ton of room to do that. But what's crazy is even when you do that, even when you have some things in there, the bike is still really light. So pretty killer package. You know, for me, I would probably make some small adjustments. Bars have a lot of rise. I would go something with a little bit less rise, maybe even a little bit longer stem on this. But other than that, man, it's pretty sweet. I dug it. So I think I've had it too long though, and it's time to get it back. Big thanks to the Bike Route here in Northwest Arkansas for letting me demo this thing and get a pretty solid feel for it. So looking forward to getting on some more bikes, some more one ride bike breakdowns. So check the text below, put all the particulars in there, and man, I think that's it. I don't know. Is there anything else? Oh yeah. Peace out, dumpers.